Hey guys, and today I'm sitting in front of the camera again, talking about this time every single injured wrestler in WWE, AEW, and the two in NJPW. I guess NJPW is just better than us American promotions. So the first person is Chad Gable / El Grande Americano. The Big American. Okay, that's a weird name. So his last match was June 7th, 2025. He has a undisclosed shoulder injury. And his last match was the Money in the Bank ladder match, featuring him, Seth frickin' Rollins. Seth frickin' Rollins. Okay, Seth frickin' Rollins, Andrade, LA Knight, Penta, and Solo Sikoa. I'm not going to say the winner because I don't want to spoil the entire event if you don't already know. Okay, next up we have Dominic Mysterio. His last match was April 21st, 2025. He has an undisclosed rib injury. And his last match was Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental title. Next up we have Ilya Dragunov. His last match was over a year ago, September 28th, which is my brother's birthday, 2023, where he had a torn ACL in a match versus Gunther. Next up we have Otis. May 5th, 2025 was his last match versus Rusev, and he had elbow surgery a few weeks ago to diagnose the problem, and they have not said what the problem is yet. Next up we have Rey Mysterio, April 18th, 2025, a day before WrestleMania Night 1, is a torn groin after a match with him, Dragon Lee, and Rey Fenix versus American Made. Next up we have Kiana James, who we don't know is a female wrestler in WWE, who's been wrestling with WWE for a few years now. Her last match was June 3rd, 2025. She has an undisclosed knee injury, and it was against Natalya. Next up we have Liv Morgan. Her most recent match was June 16th, 2025. She has a dislocated shoulder, and her last match was versus Kairi Sane. Next up we have Zoe Stark. Her most recent match was on May 13th, 2025, versus Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley, and she has an undisclosed knee injury. Next up, we have Apollo Crews. His last match was January 24th, 2025. He has a torn pectoral, and his last match was against Johnny Gargano. Next up, we have Elton Prince. His last match was May 2nd, 2025. He has a head injury, and his last match was Pretty Deadly versus Fraxium, which is Axiom and Nathan Frazier, if you didn't know that. Next up, we have Kevin Owens. His last match was March 1st, 2025. He has a neck injury, and his match was against Sami Zayn. He wasn't able to be at WrestleMania because of that neck injury. Next up, we have Tama Tonga. April 18th, 2025 was his last match. He has a hand injury, and his last match was against LA Knight. Noam Dar is next. His last match was April 22nd, 2024. He has an undisclosed injury, which means we do not know what he is injured with, and his last match was against Lexis King. And then the last WWE superstar, Brinley Reese. If you've never heard of her, well, neither have I, but apparently she wrestles with NXT. She has a shoulder injury, and her last match was on Evolve against Mason Holiday, Maysn. So, yeah. Next up, we have AEW, which has more people than WWE injured. So, yeah. First up, we have The Blade, who, no matter what you may think, is still listed on AEW's personnel page. So, yeah. His last match was over 3 years ago, on the November 10th, 2021. And November 10th, 2021, he has a back injury. And his match was The Blade was himself, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Utah, and Chuck Taylor. Next up, we have Brian Cage, who his last match was December 20th, 2024. He has a torn quad, and his match was Brian Cage versus Commander. Next up, we have Bryan Danielson. His last match was June 18th, 2025. He has a neck injury. And that match was Bryan Danielson, Atlantis Hologram, and Mascara Dorada versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Next up, we have Buddy Matthews. That would be February 15th. His last match was February 15th, 2025. He has an ankle injury, and his match was Buddy Matthews versus Kazuchika Okada. Next up, we have Eddie Kingston, May 11th, 2025. His match was against Gabriel Kidd, and he has a torn ACL and meniscus. Jay White, his last match was April 2nd, 2025. He has a broken hand, and his match was Jay White versus Claudio Castangoli. Next up, we have Juice Robinson. His last match was November 24th, 2024. He had a broken fibula, and his match was Juice Robinson and the Guns versus the Patriarchy, which is Christian Cage and Killer Switch's stable. Next up, we have Keith Lee. His last match was December 15th, 2023. He has an undisclosed injury, and his match was Keith Lee versus Shane Taylor. Next up, we have the aforementioned Killer Switch. His match was last match was August 25th, 2024. He has double pneumonia. He's the only wrestler with an illness instead of an injury on this. And his match was the Patriarchy versus Pac, the former Neville, and the Blackpool Combat Club. Next up, we have Mark Davis. His last match was March 25th, 2025. He has a foot injury, and his match was Mark Davis versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Next up, we have Orange Cassidy. His last match was February 19th, 2025. He has a torn pec, and his match was himself versus Konosuke Takeshita. I think I butchered his name, sorry. Next up, we have Ortiz. His last match was October 27th, 2022. He has a torn pec, and his match was versus Santana. Next up, we have Harley Cameron. Her last match was February 15th, 2025. She has a broken nose, and her match was against Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks. Next up, we have Kiera Hogan. Her last match was December 27th, 2023. She has a shoulder injury, and her match was against Dynamite. And the last AEW superstar is Riho. Her last match was July 1st, 2024. And she has a broken arm, and her match was Riho versus Lady Frost. Now we have NJPW, who has only two people injured. They are Hanare, Henare. His last match was June 16th, 2024. He has a knee injury, and his last match was against Shingo Takagi. And then there's Jake Lee, September 11th, 2024. He has a foot injury, and his last match was against Jack Morris. I hope you enjoyed that breakdown of every superstar injured in AEW, WWE, and NJPW. And I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe. See you next time.